Toasty Robot, E3 coverage 2015. Now we are moving on to Sony. So, yeah, it's pretty cool, guys. And on that note, Toasty Robot out. No. So,
like, I hear this, like...
PlayStation fucking brought it, man. They brought it. And we were going to say, I don't know. So we actually kind of got to go to this press conference, for lack of a better way of explaining it. So we went to the PlayStation E3 experience, where they broadcast their press conference live in movie theaters all across the country. We had to go be a part of that, be a part of the zeitgeist, if you will. And it was cool to share that packed-ass theater with all these fans who were just as excited about all this dumb shit as we were.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it really did bring, like, an energy to it that, you know, we couldn't have got any other way. And that's not to say that, like, I don't know, I'm not biased or anything because of how we experienced that, but it damn sure helped. It was...
For me, it was the crowd moments. It was the, you know...
Can look at it...
just as much, to be able to look around and see the people reacting the same
way. For me, it's like, I know in no way, in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to have much in common with this giant gangster-looking guy sitting 3 seats down from me. But every time they would announce something, me and him would catch eyes and be like, yeah, that thing, right? That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Bringing people together. PlayStation. Yes. It was great. So they kicked it off with a bang.
No. They kicked it off with a fucking explosion?
Yeah.
We're not going to tone it down.
To say the least. So The Last Guardian is finally coming out. Hold for applause.
I don't want to do this. I want to go back to celebrating and crying.
Yeah, like, for real. I mean...
It's coming. It's coming. And they showed a fantastic demo of it also. It looked so good. I have no problem confessing that I did get a little misty watching that.
Adam was like a harness.
I really want to check that out. I mean, it looked different.
It is, but it very much falls in line with other games from Team Ico. If you've never played Ico or Shadow of the Colossus...
That's a stupid question, but how familiar are you with the... I mean, I know Doom 3 was out, but...
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, I think I was really fascinated with... It looked like a movie. It didn't look like they were playing a game, but, you know, because I had to nudge Mike. I was like, Mike.
Yeah, he did. At one point, he nudged me and he said, "Is this gameplay?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, this is."
Like when he said that, I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "That's."
You didn't hear the cat behind us?
Whoa.
We were sitting there. He was counting out frames. Like, yeah, it looks like 30 frames to me. Like, all right.
That's something that a lot of people were complaining about, was that they were falling back on that it looks like a PS3 game still. I think a lot of people understand that that's more of a filter effect than a graphics effect. Like, it's that's an art style they choose to use, not like shitty graphic game.
They also came out and said that the PS3 footage they showed was doctored.
Yeah, it was that game was never up to spec on PS3 ever. It switched over to PS4 development in 2012. So, yeah, and it looked like it was running just fine to me. It looked super awesome. So, kind of an interesting moment there when after they showed the trailer and they went out to the crowd shot in the, not where we were, but in the conference itself, and Fumito Ueda was his name? The director of the game, who has not been at Sony since, like, for several years now. Yeah, he left over... It's still around. 13. I don't know. It's still kind of unclear why he left, but from what I can gather from news is that things were not going well. He was not happy with his position there. They were pressuring him too hard to get the game out, things like that. Development on the game had gotten to a point where he just couldn't handle it anymore. So he bailed out of Sony. But then when the game came up on in the trailer, it had his name on it. Directed by whatever, and then they showed him in the crowd. He was there repping the game and is still very much involved with it, which that's super cool.
They've been saying that he's still tied to it. Like, this was going to be his his opus.
Yeah. What a way to go, though.
Yeah, man. Like, again, Adam hadn't have been like, joking around and patting me on the back and like basically holding me down, I'd have been on my feet. Like, I really would have. This is a game that I've been anticipating.
You've said that before. This is the thing that probably you are in the PlayStation camp now, aren't you?
Yeah, so Adam's like, here it comes. I'm like, shh, don't jinx it. It hasn't showed it yet.
I knew it was coming. That was happening. That was a thing that was super important. That was a big moment.
Yeah, an opening with it.
I am fucking terrified that game is not going to live up to Shadow of the Colossus.
I think it'll be okay. I don't necessarily put them in the same camp. Like
they're not
because I didn't like care for Shadow of the Colossus that much. Like I still like it, but I liked Eco a lot more than Shadow of the Colossus. I liked like the simpler mechanics and kind of the more like I guess I can't really say like personal story, because Shadow of the Colossus was very much a personal story, but
right.
I enjoyed it, but I mean I just like Eco more. This looks more like Eco than Shadow of the Colossus.
To me, they had that weight because it's narrative storytelling in the weirdest way possible.
Yeah,
but yet conveys so much.
Zero dialogue, nothing. It's just straight up communication between you and your world and whoever's tagging along with you, all through contextual clues.
The way he was wanting the Guardian to jump.
Yeah.
Like, even that, like, all these moments where you're sitting there watching this, and I'm going, oh god, I can't wait to get my hands on this. I'm going to sit there and hold and look at the case for a while.
That's something you're going to have. They are drawing you up a case design right now.
It's coming, man. It's
going to be in your hands. This isn't rumor and legend and myth anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to spend money to buy The Last Guardian sooner than later.
Yes, I will pawn all my VCRs on this. Yeah, I mean...
So to just keep in line with awesome reveals, they followed that up with a new IP from Guerrilla Games, the better known for their Killzone franchise, called Horizon Zero Hour, which Zero Dawn, yeah. Holy shit! So for me, this is my game of E3.
It brought something to the table for everyone.
Everything about it looks cool.
It's being touted as an RPG.
Well, I'm sure there's most things are nowadays, though. That's sort of a relative term. Everything has like RPG hooks in it, but I mean that looked like straight up not sucky Monster Hunter to me. I wish Nate was here right now so I could just be like, look, motherfucker, this is how you do it. Everything about that looked cool.
Had dinosaurs,
robot dinosaurs.
Which
I'm not Nate. I don't care about the Transformers part.
No. All they had to do was like attach Ninja, and that would have been like.
So I really like the concept they're framing for this, like the post-apocalyptic thing that they got going.
Might actually be a big element.
Society rebuilding itself, but also having to deal with, for all we know, the robots that caused this apocalypse. I really like the whole sort of caveman aesthetic, like the primitive humans versus like this crazy future tech in this destroyed world.
Did anybody else get a very small vibe channeling your inner Bender, where they made their own Tomb Raider with bow and arrows and robot dinosaurs? We don't need your Lara Croft anymore.
I don't know. It looks super awesome to me.
It looks really impressive.
In this day and age, man, new IPs are few and far between. You know, everybody had something this year, but I'm excited. I'm excited for that game. I love that you got a very established studio here with a great pedigree.
Going in a nice new way.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Going in a completely new way.
This couldn't be more different from Killzone. I mean, aside.
What was the one guy's response when Gorilla was like, "Okay, here's the trailer," and this guy is like, "It's a shooter." It's a shooter, and then you start seeing like the scenery and the build up to it and everything. And I was like, awesome, sweet, it's not a shooter.
No.
It's
Cabela's Mech Hunter 2016. No, it's I mean, you shoot, but It's not a shooter. That everything about that looked cool to me. I cannot fucking
that was,
wait.
to me, the primitive aspect is what made it so much more entertaining.
Like, I mean,
the only time she held anything that fired bullets
was when she whipped it off of the robot. Yeah.
No, that was a cool.
That was super cool. Yeah, I am really excited for that game. I cannot wait to see more. We'll probably see a decent bit more later in December at the PlayStation Experience thing that they are supposed to be annualizing now. After the one last year was like such a huge success, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, just a whole cascade of stuff. Street Fighter V got another trailer, 2 new characters. Well, new. Not really.
Playing fast and loose.
Not really new characters, but new to Street Fighter V, Birdie and Cammy coming, and returning characters. Yeah, we'll go with that. I couldn't be more excited. I think Birdie was kind of a cool pull for that, like sort of an obscure, no one really asked for this guy kind of character. Yeah, they've been doing character polls for this game for a while now to like kind of gauge interest on who should be in. And I don't really ever recall seeing Birdie rank too high in that stuff, but he seems cool. I'm glad he's in there. And then bringing back my favorite Cammy, got my main in. I'm excited now. I'm really excited for Street Fighter V now. If I wasn't already.
Sold on Nash. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Zombie Nash now.
Zombie Nash, whatever. Franken Nash. I like that. We'll call him Franken Nash forever now. But putting Cammy in, man, that was it for me. I wish they had a little more footage to show of that, but later on they did, like in their post E3 like live shows that they were doing like all over the internet. They had plenty more gameplay from Birdie and Cammy. That was also the debut of the new stage, the new background, because up until that they've only been showing that one like rain-slick neon street stage, and then this one looked like it took place in like a London train station or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Stages are stages. They're cool. Street Fighter V is coming.
A new area to beat somebody.
I'm down. Then they had another demo of No Man's Sky, yet again. Still super optimistic about that game, but still kind of reluctant because it just seems so damn ambitious. It just seems.
Well, to me, that's like my big thing about it is like no matter how you. We were discussing it just now, man. The different ways you could code it, the different ways you could cloud it and everything like that, man. It still makes me wonder, like.
So this was their first showing of like the combat mechanics in space and the gun when you're on planet, and also on top of that, fully destructible environments. Like,
that was pretty
holy shit, man. So not only are they basically rendering infinite worlds, you can also fucking trash all of them.
Wow.
And I know this is kind of weird for me to say, but like, what kind of appealed to me in Mass Effect is the different places you could explore and go to and what you would find.
But you couldn't, and that was the thing. Yeah, and this is like bringing that dream to life.
I'm just like, this is kind of cool. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I would always get real excited in Mass Effect when one of the planets I was scanning had the land prompt on it. I was like, oh, cool, I get to go here, actually. Yeah.
But from this one, you can land
everywhere. Everywhere.
You are a few button mashes away from infinity.
It's mind blowing.
Mind blowing.
No, just infinity. You can't go past it. It's just a PlayStation game,
man. So then after that, they brought out Media Molecule for their long in development thing. This is the first thing that they've put out since Little Big Planet 2, because they didn't do Little Big Planet 3.
That's kind of
also
Dreams. Yeah, also a very ambitious project, but not even slightly even in the realm of what they're proposing you'll be able to do with Dreams. So I don't really know. I couldn't really gather how much of this is actually a game and how much this is just an interactive forum for art.
The bear.
I hope it's just.
What was it? The Hello Kitty Zombie Slayer.
Yeah.
Footage made me think you could probably put together shit for other people to play through.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Their version of Flash animation games.
I don't know.
But it really did seem more like an animation.
This definitely seems like something that, like, I'm like kind of creative, but like, I thought that also, and then I played Little Big Planet, and then saw what other people were hammering out, and was like, I'm nowhere near creative enough. So they've pretty much got my money with this as just a way to look at what other people make. Because I bet there's going to be some insane shit
a couple of years
coming
back,
out of this.
A couple of years back, I was at Lionhead Studios. Peter Molyneux did movies.
The movies.
And I love that game.
It was so great.
Kind of like makes that more accessible. Makes it more.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I forgot about the movies.
That's what I was thinking about when I was watching.
If that's the direction that they're going, where you just compose something to look at, even I'm in. Because whatever it's gonna be seems really fascinating, if not completely ambitious.
And then with the stop motion,
yeah,
I get to look forward to like people putting up like slasher film versions of like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the creative aspect is why I bought Little Big Planet.
Oh yeah.
And so now that they're releasing this, it's like this is kind of like blowing my mind a little bit because I'm like, man, I could really do whatever I want with this. Like, but I'm kind of curious what other people are gonna crank out, and that's why I'm like, this might be pretty.
That's
pretty
the
cool.
thing. Is like I didn't even have the technical proficiency to do enough stuff in Little Big Planet to hold my attention. But it was I spent way more time looking at what everybody else made, but like I saw stuff for Little Big Planet, like people were crafting like full on first person shooters in that looked, you couldn't even tell that it was Little Big Planet, like in no way at all. Like the things that you could do with that were unbelievable, but didn't it completely unshackle yourself from what Little Big Planet was and say make whatever you can think of?
No, that's the ultimate thing.
This sounds more ambitious than fucking No Man's Sky to me, because at least No Man's Sky has a gameplay element and a hook established, Hey, fly your ship, go here, look at stuff, leave, wash, rinse, repeat.
The only really awkward element that seems to... that struck me the most awkward was using the controllers, your tool. So when they first were talking about what they were working on, when they showed this, not last year, the year before, they were using PlayStation Move controllers to show this, like the sculpting mechanics, like shaping things into stuff, which the PS4 has basically that functionality built into it with its light bar and stuff, but is also compatible with PlayStation Move controllers. So I'm sure that seems to be like a more viable stylus than
definitely.
Big,
so
wonky controller.
We'll see like what kind of other controller options they come out with, or control options.
I can almost guarantee they're going to make a very specific controller for that game.
Like a light pad?
I could definitely see that.
I feel like they'll package that with a new type of
That's interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Some kind of like a tablet type thing.
Yeah, like a Wacom tablet.
Yeah, sure, yeah. That's interesting. There's been, something like that is what put THQ out of business with the U-Draw, so they might be kind of reluctant to do something like that, but that's an interesting angle. I didn't think about that.
But this one isn't fine line art. You're like, you're just drawing lumps of clay that you...
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see more. I want to see more about
it looked really...
like the under the hood mechanics as to how you actually like craft this stuff and whatnot, because that looked incredible. That really was. I was silent with open jaw the whole time looking at that, because I couldn't. I couldn't even really formulate what I was looking at.
Well, I couldn't even look down that way because I was still taking it in, going, I want to be a cartoonist.
Yeah. But see, you're saying that. You're saying I want to be a cartoonist. There's other people out there going, I want to compose music, or I want to, paint my masterpiece, or I want to do literally whatever you can think of.
That was the big draw to that. That was what was important. Is you watched The Last Guardian. You sat and got excited and freaked out because they were displaying to you a game that you wanted to play and you were going to play it. You sat through and watched Dreams, and honestly, I watched it. I retained the information. I can tell you what it was about. The appeal to that, what drew you into that, was more your mind was allowed to wander during that, because you were more interested in what you were going to make with it than what they were showing you. You were just so happy that, unlike Little Big Planet, where there was a set of rules, where they gave you a small group of tools to use. With Dreams, they were just all like, do whatever the fuck you want.
That's interesting. It's funny that you say that, because I didn't say that out loud at the time watching it, but that's exactly how I felt the whole time watching that. I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm taking this all in, and now my mind is fucking running. Like, what can I do with this?
I wonder if it's going to give you like an option to publish it, not just
on
YouTube
of course
or anything,
it will,
but like locally.
Well, that was their big thing, is to make things and share it.
Well, not just exclusive to like the game itself. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to make something and put it on YouTube, be like, yeah, this is.
Well, I mean, you could do that. I mean, you can do that with any game, really. They'll probably
not
with
just
the way
YouTube, but if you just wanted to have it locally. Like,
well, especially if like there's not like an interactive aspect to whatever you're making. If it's just something to look at, like sure, yeah, totally.
Like movie-based type thing.
I can almost guarantee you this is their answer to Steam Movie Maker. Like, they are giving you the tools to make something big.
Yeah.
Well, that is, like, me and you went back and forth a couple times on, like, the quality of trailers for games lately. Mm-hmm. And that shit felt like a French film. Like a big surrealist fucking French film. Afterwards, you were like, everything is illuminated now.
The weirdest thing about that game is like, I can only imagine like the R&Ding and discussions they had to have to even make a trailer for that game.
How many berets and turtlenecks were involved? Like,
my thing that I paid attention to the most out of that, what I think literally the most interesting is not the creativity. It's not what other people are going to make. They were really focused on the fact that when they were showing, the polar bears, when they were showing the futuristic, hover car cop chase, when they were showing...
Oh, right, I forgot about
the little teddy bear fighting the zombies. One, let's not forget the fact that they were doing it with, nothing like cartoony, nothing too hyper-realistic, but they were using different art styles. Like, the zombies, the teddy bear was definitely...
everything had a very different aesthetic to it.
The pianist part where they were playing the song.
He looked like he was made out of clouds.
I'm trying to remember what song it was. It was a very famous, popular song.
It was Twinkle Little Star.
Was it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They kept focusing and coming back to the fact that as you play through it, they kept focusing that you were going to play through it, but all the dreams seamlessly intertwined with each other. So when you were exploring one of them, or even when you were exploring your own, a very simple movement or decision could drop you into a completely different one.
Yeah, this sounds awesome.
They did mention that during the discussion of it, is while they were like loading up the trailer, while they were building up to the actual trailer, was the fact that not only was it the ability to share, like you would be sharing, like the one Tyler here created an asset, and like you might wanted to use one. Mm-hmm. But like you could gather together and like where one guy could create an entire animation, and you could take it and like maybe flip a filter, modify it a little bit.
I want to see tool integrations, because that's a good way to look at that. Because what I was thinking, like as I'm sitting there, I wonder how like handholdy it's going to be in terms of helping you procedurally generate stuff. Like, does everything have to be completely crafted from nothing? Or are there like templates or
I think they'll use.
I would definitely think
they left that so open ended for what it is. I would almost believe that there aren't.
But that's kind of
that's the important part. Like let's say that I cracked this game open, and the first thing I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make myself a time traveling Abraham Lincoln that somehow got turned into a centaur that has a fucking laser axe. Like, I want to know if you can seamlessly just float through dreams. Like, I want to know how they're going to react to each other. Like if you go into one, like, is it like, are they designed to react to yours? Because like, if I make a dream where I have like centaur time traveling Abraham Lincoln with his laser axe fighting pterodactyls that are on the back of fucking God knows what, and I stumble into somebody's somber art film that's like a cancer patient dying over his watching his dad die as a cancer patient, and my little Abraham Lincoln centaur just like stumbles into it like,
you're describing like Fellini films, dude.
I don't think like that's the thing. There'll probably be like different modes and things like that, like seamlessly flow from one thing to another, or just play this particular vertical slice.
It doesn't like have any hard, fast rules.
That's the thing. That's
kind of neat about it.
Very much so. Yeah,
it's like giving.
It is a Fellini film.
Yeah.
Well, it's like giving the player complete control of how the game is going to run. Like, I feel like everyone all together is making this game.
Yeah,
the game is an empty shell, and we're filling it in with all.
So I wonder what it's like actually going to ship with, because how Little Big Planet ships with its development tool side, but it also has like the campaign to play through.
Yeah.
Which this will probably have. It's got to have something to like get the ball rolling and like show you, hey, this is what you can do. Enjoy this, and then go out on your own. So
like a game-based tutorial.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, which is really all the Little Big Planet campaigns are, anyways. They're just they're cool levels showing you the potential of what you can create that introduce all the mechanics to you gradually as you progress through. A lot of people only ever play the campaigns in Little Big Planet and never mess with the creator stuff because they're
totally missing out.
They
those
are.
people are wrong.
No, they're very wrong. That's not what that game is at all. If you buy Little Big Planet to play through its campaign, you're dumb. So.
No, I'm very excited for games. I'm very excited to just see. I want to watch it interact with each other. I want to watch people's stupid ideas interact with people's brilliant art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like you definitely want like a dedicated anarchy server. I mean, you want to just anything goes.
Well, that's another thing. Like, I know we might be dwelling on a little bit, but whatever. Fuck it. This is the Sony one. We knew what was gonna happen.
We knew what was gonna happen. Yeah.
But that's another thing. Like, I wonder if it's going to be like big multiplayer areas, like everybody's kind of chaotically running through everything.
I think it'll have more of an asynchronous kind of feel.
Yeah, or handle it like how something like Journey does, where you're just going about your business, and then all of a sudden, hey, there's this other guy here. You can totally acknowledge that or not. Without any consequence either way.
I guess that goes back to my other point. Was like it does. Like when you're playing Journey, another guy just kind of stumbles into your game.
But you're also stumbling into his game.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have my big, stupid Centaur Abraham Lincoln with a laser axe, and I hit a button, and all of a sudden I'm in a fucking...
Maybe. We don't know that that's how it's going to be set up.
No, but that's fine. Like, that's what I'm interested in. Like, I want to see what happens when I hit a button and Abraham Lincoln Centaur laser axe is all of a sudden in an old Western train heist.
You're killing me here, dude. If you don't make Abraham Lincoln Centaur laser axe...
It'll be the first thing. Like, I'm not going to
Okay, alright, please.
I'm going to do a tutorial.
Like, I'm trying to acronym that right now.
Please.
Like Alcla.
So, moving on from Dreams, then they showed Firewatch, which this is already available on PC, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, so this is just making its console debut on the PS4. Not much to say about it, other than I think it looks cool. It looks like a nice, like, little kind of dramatic survival-type adventure game.
Cartoony drawing, kind of cartoony feel.
It got a lot of buzz. People were really behind it when it launched on PC.
As we've discussed with like the Mark of Cree thing, I don't mind cartoon.
I don't either.
Shit
I don't
doing
either.
really adult things.
Yeah, it's I really like the movie Cool World, even though
I wouldn't go that.
I should. It's all right. Whatever. Fine. Fucking Roger Rabbit. Everybody likes Roger Rabbit.
Oh man.
With beards.
This game is not out yet.
It's not on PC yet?
No, I guess they're going to come out at the same time then.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
You betrayed our trust.
That kind of sweetens the pot a little bit more then. All right, cool.
Yeah, no,
so after Firewatch, they revealed their the first actual trailer for the Destiny stuff. The Taken King, the new expansion, which, I don't care about Destiny at all. And as soon as they announced they were going to talk about Destiny, I was not the only one in that audience groaning either. I wasn't. But then they showed it, okay, and some of that stuff actually looked cool to me. I heard a bunch of people just...
It was. I forgot all about that. It was like, oh, good. Except for this guy. And I probably missed it because I was sitting next to this guy. But Adam was like, okay.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't like excited. I was like,
no.
You're totally just unashamed. You like Destiny. That's fine.
I don't hate that game. I don't. When they were talking about it, I was interested. I wasn't like bouncing on my seat like, yeah, more. I was like, okay.
I don't know. I felt the arms rattling. No, my question is, okay, now I have to make a choice. Do you think this is going to be what brings everybody on board for Destiny? Or am I going to let you like stab me in the back and shit on me into the Division? Like, I mean, I gotta know which
you're gonna get. I mean, depending on when you get your PS4, you'll have a lot of time to play Destiny. Betrayal. Trust me. I mean, the day for your great betrayal will come.
Well, no. If I'm gonna pick a game that's based solely on raiding, then
it's gonna be. I don't know. Have you seen the thing they announced for the new packaging of the game?
What is that?
So, they're not just releasing the Taken King. Yes, They are releasing The Taken King as an expansion for Destiny. You can buy it in the PlayStation Store, download it right to your game. But let's say you have just picked up your PS4, or you have not cared about Destiny at this point, but you did watch that and you were like, this looks good. $60, you get the new version of Destiny. They released it, and there's an $80 version too. There's like a new release on it where you get Destiny Up to Date Edition.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like
So
a goodie package.
you get the game and all 3 expansions.
That's a lot of gameplay to go through, though.
Or you get like the $80 special edition, which is the game, all 3 expansions, and like a whole new set of knickknacks and gadgets and toys and stuff. But they are re-releasing the game in the Taken King edition, which you can go buy a physical copy of the new Destiny.
So that's
a lot cheaper.
So what do you think? Do you think this Taken King thing is going to be the last expansion for Destiny before they jump to Destiny 2? Because this is Activision.
They were like the thing that we were watching when everybody else was talking about, and that little kid came back in there and was just screaming about them giving away free stuff.
Yeah,
they were already talking about the expansion after that in that interview.
Oh, okay.
Like they were
I remember that.
Because I know they said they promised something like a 10-year life cycle for Destiny.
Is this going to be a story?
There's never going to be a story. I'm sorry. I will defend that game to my grave. I think that's a great game. People don't play that game for the story. People play that game because, I mean, the community is actually... Certain parts of the community are really nice. But that's to say about any gaming community. Like, you go to the Reddit, you go to the Fireteam Reddit, you go to the Destiny Reddit. It's actually really nice. There's a really supportive community. You can find people to play with. Nobody's whining, nobody's crying. You go to, like, video game blogs and read the comments, and it's all like, boo! You let me down! So, I mean, you have your two very
So different. The Reddit's like, okay, but the rest of the internet is just...
Yeah, they posted, Kotaku posted an article earlier where they were talking about how they got to play it this weekend. And, like, the first, 30 comments in that thread was just people like, nope, fuck you, stupid, I hate you. I don't like cynical, toxic communities like that.
No,
I don't like any.
I mean,
I guess that basically removes any community ever.
Not at all. That's why I chose to distance myself from Destiny, because I only have cynical, toxic things to say about it. And I don't want to be that guy.
That's fine, though. But that's what I'm saying, though, is I feel like when The Taken King does come out, and I feel like, I mean, you already have the game.
So yeah, I do own the game.
You don't, though. I'm assuming you're going to be getting a PS4 soon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can buy the game and just get all of it at once, I feel like that will be fine, because the gunplay in that game is the smoothest. Like, everything about that game handles
I can say that even, not caring for that game still controls like a Bungie game, man. It still feels good to play.
All right.
You don't play that game for the story. You play that game. If you pick it up, you're going to play through it. There's going to be substantial things for you to do. When I first started playing the game, there wasn't. Like, that was everybody's big problem with it, is everybody was like, there's nothing to do, so everybody put it down.
And that's where I dropped off.
Yeah, the Johnny-come-latelys actually stand a better chance to benefit from this than people who picked it up
like I said,
initially.
I just wanted to get, because watching this, you hear the groans, and then it flipped over to,
yeah.
Well, that sounds neat.
Yeah, right.
I guess just continue with the theme, because, again, we knew what we were getting into when we decided to tackle Sony.
I'm kind of wondering, over the 10-year span of what we're going to have to do for storage space for that game.
Yeah, actually,
do we need to buy, a whole other console dedicated just to Destiny? I mean, it's the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, because these are meaty expansions, in terms of file size.
Well, just even the install itself.
The install itself is around 50 gigs.
Okay.
And I figured that out because I had to redo my PlayStation recently.
Reinstall it.
And I was talking about tackling it the same way that Blizzard currently tackles World of Warcraft, which means here soon. I mean, look, you have expansion. You have 5-6 expansions for World of Warcraft. You have countless patches. That game should be well over storing on a computer about size. But the way they kind of handle it now is that entire game is, the game, all of its expansions, all of its patches, 24 gigs.
Nice.
That's not bad.
How do they do that?
So they're compressing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Destiny is getting ready to kind of start tackling Destiny, or Bungie is starting to get ready to tackling Destiny the same way by finding the way to consolidate it all down into really small files, so you only have.
They've got it.
So you're pretty sure about this, though.
Yes.
Okay.
It seems like that maybe some type of streaming option would be their best bet to
either that or they just
stream in environments and whatnot.
Hyper compressed.
It's either that or they just flat out emailed Sony and was like, "You guys are gonna have to pick a hard drive."
Which oddly no mention of at this press conference was their terabyte PlayStation, but maybe they just didn't think that something like that was press conference worthy.
This one didn't feel very hardware centric.
It was not. It was not. So moving on from Destiny, I'm gonna skip a couple of things here and save those, but Devolver Digital Bundle 3 or 4 like cool looking like little indie games, all with like a similar art style, very pixely looking. Now Devolver Digital has put out like some cool shit, so those all look neat to me. We'll see.
They look fun. Nothing to write home about.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. Nothing. Then they had after that they had an extended demo for Assassin's Creed, another CG trailer where they revealed
PlayStation exclusive missions.
Yeah, some PlayStation exclusive missions, and also showed the first kind of
female
of the first female,
which was like the biggest like from fans, regardless, either gender.
Yeah.
All Assassin's Creed fans were like, no, there's supposed to be a chick. Where's the chick?
Yeah.
Because I will go on record saying that I played the first Assassin's Creed and did not like it. Actually, did not play the first one until the 4th one was coming out, like the actual 4th titled one.
Trying to play catch up.
And I was going to be like, okay, I mean, like 4 is getting really solid reviews. Everybody seems to really like it. I'll play up to 4, and then I'll see if I enjoy 4. I played like 4 hours of Assassin's Creed 1 and hated it so much that it literally destroyed that series for me. So I'll never play an Assassin's Creed game again, so I don't follow it. But like the whole reason the female is in this one is because they got in trouble for basically flat out saying no female assassins, we can't do it.
But they have though. They did. Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. You played as a female only in that one.
So who was it that had the issues with didn't want to put the females?
One of those that had a.
I don't know.
It was a big deal. I know because.
I don't know, but yeah, they already had an Assassin's Creed game with a female protagonist, only a female protagonist. That was the only playable character. That was the Vita game that also got released digitally on PS3 and 360. Yeah. Pretty good. Arguably the better of the Assassin's Creed 3 games. Like, that one seemed pretty cool.
I don't know why that was such a problem, though.
I don't think it was.
It was Assassin's Creed. It was Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Well, they said they couldn't. They didn't. They abandoned them in co-op because they didn't want to put.
That was for Unity. Yeah. They didn't add. There was no female player models in
for multiplayer.
For multiplayer, yeah, it was just like reskinning the one guy over and over. Yeah, I remember they didn't really get in trouble about that, but people were definitely bitching, like, why the hell not? Why isn't that in there?
Yeah, question mark.
Yeah. So after Assassin's Creed, they had a little demo, a very kind of spoilery demo of Batman, which I don't think really they needed to show, other than they probably had some kind of contractual obligation to mention their exclusive content and whatnot. But,
I mean, again, like we talked about off air, like that wasn't there to showcase the game. That was just there to say, we get something you guys don't.
Yeah, right. Then, so I'm still gonna hold off on the big stuff here.
I want to talk about the bombshell.
Yeah, but we'll get to it. So next they had Andrew Dice Clay come out on stage and talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
We're gonna shoot the best.
We got some new content here for you.
I didn't even make the connection.
That guy, fucking Guido in a tracksuit, man.
I really wish.
So Ubisoft brings out Thor's uncle for honor.
I was like,
literally the most dude bro guy they could have found, man. They're like, we're here on the PlayStation now.
I don't believe for a second that somebody backstage was like, if you're gonna go there and talk about Call of Duty, you better put on this blue denim tracksuit and this gold.
No, I think that was totally just a happy accident. That guy went out on stage and started talking. Somebody behind the scenes would be going, God damn it. That we didn't mean for that. But
exactly what
regardless of what he was, his appearance and how he talked and all that stuff, they dropped the bomb that the Call of Duty DLC, which Toasty Robot reported on previously, is launching first on PlayStation now. That's kind of a big deal. It sort of sucks that they're dropping that in Call of Duty's twilight years, as far as I'm concerned, where I kind of feel like it's dropping off a little bit. But having said that, man, Black Ops 3 looks fucking rad. I think it actually looks pretty cool.
It's really fast though.
Because that seems so separated from like my kind of mental vision of what Call of Duty is. That just looks like a cool sci-fi futuristic shooter.
Now it seems like they're just putting shit like psyops and everything.
Yeah.
And slapping Call of Duty across it.
Yeah.
which I understand. They got bills too,
mm-hmm.
you know. But
now
it's just like y'all guys are just making any first-person shooter this shit, man. Come on, you know.
It still looked pretty cool. It still
but at least give me the
cool.
reach around there and the false belief that this is actually a new IP. I mean, shit,
yeah, I guess I can't argue that one with you, but so many franchises have a history. I mean, like fucking Tom Clancy stuff has got way more of a track record of doing this, of just, put the Tom Clancy name on something that has, look at how Ghost Recon changed. All the different, types of genres that name seems to encompass in its games,
I'll give you that.
It's the Call of Duty name sells. If these guys want to make a cool robot futuristic shooter, if you can help it get out there, why not slap the Call of Duty name on it,
Yeah, but at the same stroke, I wasn't a true crime fan, but when True Crime Hong Kong came out, I was like, fuck yeah, Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, yeah,
that's...
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It's I get why this is still called Call of Duty, even though this doesn't even seem anything like Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah, it seems...
I mean, National Lampoon's got to continue without Chevy Chase.
There you go. This is fuck
This is not the place to air those grievances.
Call of Duty is absolutely the Fast and Furious of the game world. I mean, it absolutely is.
Okay,
you just keep slapping that name on a movie that has
You've got cars,
has less to do with the one before it every time. It
falls back to the Assassin's Creed thing we were talking about, I think it was Assassin's Creed we were talking about earlier, but. They ran out of history, man.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah. So, kind of an interesting side note on this. I was catching some kind of message board, kind of chatter and buzz about this. So, specifically, Xbox guys are really pissed about this in a way that I kind of wasn't expecting them to be.
So, you think the contract or the deal was undercut, or it might have been a.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Something definitely happened behind
Sony hired some professional extractors to go in and take out the Activision agents embedded in Microsoft at the time.
It's hard to say, but no, so some of the things that I was picking up, people were very dedicated, kind of fervent fan base for Call of Duty on the Xbox side, and I saw messages going, well, I'm going to finish what Bin Laden started by destroying Sony headquarters over this one. People were really... it went...
This goes back to the maturity level.
Yeah, it's going far. So, wow. PlayStation guys are happy about this. It doesn't seem to be... It does. I'm saying...
Petting their cats' ears.
I don't mean that. I'm saying they're happy about the early access to the maps and the DLC and stuff. Okay. But... on the Xbox camp, there are people who are saying things along the line of, we've spent years dedicating ourselves, pouring our time and money and effort into building this brand into what it is on Xbox, and now you guys are just going to steal it right from us. People are pissed. It doesn't seem to be any middle ground response to this at all, outside of, people like us who can take Call of Duty or leave it, whatever, But people who are really into Call of Duty... aren't really taking this well,
and they shouldn't. And you know what?
No.
I'm saying though, they deserve to be angry.
Yeah,
it's a classic case of what people have been denoting for years. They want something special handed to them.
Mm-hmm.
They should have done like every Sony fanboy in the world did and talked with their wallets. I bet 100% of those people who were complaining and whining, we don't get our special Call of Duty stuff. Still playing fucking Xbox 360s.
Yeah, and exactly. And that's why I said I mentioned in our one of our earlier episodes about how people speaking with your wallets will get results if people would do it. That's just the nature of the beast. How when everybody wanted to boycott Modern Warfare 2 on the PC for not having private servers, and then signed their petitions and whatnot, but then when that game launched, there were all the pictures coming out of those guys being tagged actually still fucking playing the game on PC. Be butthurt about it all you want. People are still going to play the damn games. I think fucking console exclusive DLC is still shitty. Nobody really wins from this in the long run, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's, it just divides your fan bases, and it's not cool, but I mean, it is a big win for Sony. It's a damn big one for sure. I mean,
because it's those kids are going to do exactly what... I'm going to call them kids, because I cannot wrap my brain around the fact that a rational adult is going to go to a fucking internet message board and talk about finishing Bin Laden's work over fucking Call of Duty DLC.
I mean, my only thought just falls back to Joe Sixpack.
Yeah, it's just...
But see, that's not, and that's why I try and stray away from using shit like that. I mean, we'll make fun of Andrew Dice Clay till we're blue in the fucking face. But... people playing these games aren't just your average everyday dude bro now. They're not just, fucking, like Michael said. Michael was connecting with a dude that, there's no way of saying it without sounding like a racist piece of shit, but stereotypically would not be into the games that Michael was into.
I mean, that's just the thing. If I bumped into that guy on the street, I would immediately assume that we have nothing in common.
Exactly.
But, to see the reactions from things in that theater and games and whatnot, to know that, when it gets right down to it, we all have something in common when our fandoms are come into play,
These kids are on the internet message board yelling and screaming and crying that they didn't get their way, they didn't get what they want. They've invested all this time and money into Xbox somehow, but I guess they mean that in the sense that, they didn't invest time and money into it, they just played the game a lot.
Right.
Those kids are going to go to their mommies and daddies, and if they're adults, they're shitty adults, because they should not be acting that way.
So, another little thing that I wanted to say here is while going through those message boards and whatnot, and seeing everybody being all pissed off, and not having any idea why this deal came to be, now, I could be completely mistaken, and this may not even be official, but there seemed to be a little bit of chatter coming from Activision on top of all this stuff, too, saying that these kind of volatile attitudes and these horrible things that you people are saying are exactly why this is playing out the way that it is.
Oh, man.
They want to distance themselves from these fucking just terrible people.
Yeah, what was the old meme? Which is
image macro. We're not internet amateurs.
Meme.
No, when you're doing like Battlefield, you actually have adult conversations in battle. Call of Duty, it's how many people have had relations with your mom. So, but that's not make understood. Holy shit! Anything online has its fair share of like mom sleepers, but wow, for Activision to come out and saying, okay, we're you guys stay over there.
Yeah, so like I don't want to put any kind of official stamp of approval on that, but buzz and chatter that I've been picking up does kind of seem to be that played a part in this.
But okay.
The problem that we're facing here with this is exactly what my last point was going to be. And I guess this kind of adds is that Activision doesn't... let's say that there is an off chance that is official. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. Like, if I was Activision, I'd be like, oh god, please, I don't want to be in the same room as you guys.
And it needs a seal of approval.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
We're good with shit talking.
Both of these have good problems.
No, we're good with shit talking.
Yeah.
But at the same time... No, I'm pretty sure it was my dad who successfully had relations with my mom. I'm sorry you're sucking at this game, sir, but we are adults here.
I guess it was Activision can say that all they want. If they did, Michael has more than put the disclaimer on that may not be necessarily true. But both the volatile community and Activision trying to distance themselves from said community are both completely moot points. It's completely null and void, because those whiny kids talking about taking out terroristic threats and active murder over this, and Activision trying to bail from the community, they're all just going to do what they have to do. They're kids. They're not psychotic ego terrorists. They're just going to go buy PlayStations now.
Yeah,
that's all they're going to do.
You're probably right.
But how did Activision go, okay, yeah, it's clear that, that community over there with, Microsoft is kind of rough.
They didn't, though.
Okay.
You can't say that. It's it's equally bad everywhere.
That was my point, yeah. It's equally bad, so why, I wonder...
It's just...
Why did they do this kind of transition?
It's because... It's money. Basically, is really the main reason. But like, just more to your point, though, it's not that they looked specifically at the Microsoft community and said we're jumping ship to Sony. They looked at the attitude overall and said, let's see what we can do. It's just, let's try and mix this up. Let's see if this has any type of effect on what we're doing and whatnot. But I don't know. It's too hard to say like the exact reason why, other than money.
The company Switch is the numbers that we were looking at a couple of casts ago.
Yeah.
I mean, Activision's like, we like money because we like having the houses that we own.
Yeah,
and cars.
And there's more of it coming from the PlayStation camp right now.
And that numbers game is why Michael said just that. Probably that. I think that same episode that Xbox was going to start losing a lot of this exclusivity that it has.
And that's gonna hurt them, a lot.
It might and it might not. It's too hard to say. I mean, where Call of Duty very specifically is concerned, like I said, I feel like we are rolling in kind of to the twilight years of that franchise. It's not as big as it once was, but I say that not having with this game not being out yet, we don't know. Black Ops 2 was like the one that was apparently that was the last Call of Duty game that did ridiculous numbers and was like the largest entertainment launch in history up to that point. So maybe it's just something about Black Ops in general. Maybe Black Ops 3 will top that one. We don't know. There's just no way of telling.
It could also be the general brand burnout.
This could also be the one that totally tanks the franchise, and Sony and Activision are going to be sitting there with empty pockets going, well, fuck, maybe we shouldn't have done this.
We were there at the release of Halo 2.
Mm-hmm.
We were there at the midnight release of that, and then they were like, when they announced Halo 3, me and my friends were like, meh.
Yeah, it's just...
I mean,
you get burnt out.
Halo 2 crushed numbers, Halo 3 did, okay.
Yeah. I went to the midnight release of ODST, and there was like 6 people there. Went to the midnight release of Reach, couldn't get in the fucking building.
Yeah, things like that fluctuate. I'm just drawing that from the fact that there has been a steady decline in Call of Duty pre-order numbers and sales since Black Ops 2.
Correlation can be made with Activision, kind of spreading the love or moving the love for DLC as a strategy, quote unquote, to attack the hostiles within the gaming community.
Yeah, because how else do you do it?
Let's see if we can give these people some love. Let's see if it's just shitty over here.
See, what would actually work the best is if they put the fucking shit out on both systems at the same goddamn time.
Okay, what you're asking, Michael,
is not that outlandish.
And motherfucking
no, it
isn't. Fields.
Why can't it be that way? Why do they have to work out an exclusivity deal for fucking map packs, dude? The multiplayer is the bread and butter of that franchise. Why would you want to give someone else a better time than the other guys?
Well, as you said, money.
Yeah, money.
Know.
And that's such a bad controlling,
It sucks. It sucks. I mean, it is straight up money.
Why are we going to fault a multi-billion-dollar business for doing what it does best, though?
No, I'm not. But I'm in examples like this, like gamers do lose out, and it's a bummer.
Let's say what you're saying is actually completely accurate, and Activision didn't bring their product to Sony because they're just sick and tired of, or they're not trying to cash in on it. They're not trying to sell consoles for PlayStation. Let's say they really are just moving because they want their game to be associated with. You say Call of Duty, and look. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to insult anybody, especially a friend of mine named Tyler that I'm going to say something mean about.
Okay.
But he is the least established person who has interest in video game in this small group.
He won't have any qualms with that, right?
No, I didn't want to be all. I didn't want to out anybody on here.
No.
Hey, Tyler's our fucking amateur.
It's fine.
Well, no, and I'm perfectly fine with that because. What I'm doing is I bought a PlayStation 4 and I was like, okay, it's time for me to jump back into the one thing that I've always had a passion for. It's about time. Like, I'm dropping a hammer. Like, okay.
And then he took it to GameStop when he found out that Doom 3 wasn't on that one.
All right, so...
But what I was going to say, though, was the first thing that he associated that with was, he heard the word Call of Duty and was all like, dude, bro, piece of shit.
Right, yeah.
I completely, that was correct.
Yeah, but that's just because there's an inherent association with that. Just that. That's how that is perceived. It's just, that is something that they cannot fight back from. That is just, when you hear Call of Duty, you think, exactly, dude, bro, piece of shit, volatile online communities. Like,
because I've watched my buddies play online, and it's been exactly that. And
yeah,
that's the only image I've gotten,
and they're dishing it out just as much as they're taking it, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of Let's Play footage where you just hear people just freaking.
Yeah, totally.
I don't have an interest in that community. I don't have an interest in that game. I see the raise. There's a new Call of Duty this year. I think... I cannot wait for that Mountain Dew to come out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Word.
Actually, yeah, those.
Word.
All right.
So that's enough on Call of Duty.
We're going with COD.
Let's see. Disney Infinity Star Wars stuff exclusive to
Adam's
PlayStation.
way excited.
You know what?
Launch.
No, say whatever you want. We made these jokes. We talked shit about it. I'm not super interested in it. I played the first Disney Infinity. Again, it might have been an Assassin's Creed thing. It may have gotten better. But I fucked that up for myself.
That's fair. So yeah,
there's people excited about this. Like literally, there's people I know that a friend of mine on Facebook. I was talking to her about it. She's gonna buy a PS4 just because she really wants that Boba Fett.
Wow.
You know what? I can see it happen. I'm not surprised that there are people like that out there. I mean, it's just not for us. You know. I mean, it's fine.
But I'm saying, the Boba Fett has moved one console at least now. So
yeah, sure, totally, whatever.
I have an 11-year-old.
Uh-huh.
And I love it because it's the whole, like, where we joke around where I'll take one for the team. No, I'm not really taking one for the team. I'm like, hey, do you want to play a game? Let's go get you the game. Tell me what you think afterwards.
Because they'll genuinely probably have fun with that. Yeah. So just a quick roundup of what is exclusive: the Boba Fett figure and the two like.
The one that ties into Clone Wars.
Yeah, they're first on PlayStation or something like that. I don't know. I really did tune out during that part.
Well, I think the second one is exclusive just to PlayStation, like the whole time. Like I think that's
just it's all just first on PlayStation. None of it is like permanently exclusive. Okay, yeah,
because I thought that's why they announced the two playsets. Because I thought one of them. Like,
no. It's just first. It's just first. Like Boba Fett and that playset will be on the other consoles later next year.
I thought I took that the wrong way too. I thought Boba Fett was only.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that because you could just pick that toy up and put it in another thing. It's not. It's like that's the way all that stuff works.
The toys aren't just like.
Yeah, the Boba Fett. There's already been stories talking about like,
I know they're not.
It's like you people need to calm the fuck down. The Boba Fett toy will still work with like the Xbox and Nintendo versions of this game. You just can't get it unless you buy this PS4 Premium Special edition.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I know
for now, that figure will have its standalone
I'm the guy
release.
Who's come to the table with like the most Skylanders experience.
Right,
like,
yeah, probably, yeah.
I mean, look, I never played Skylanders. Me and Michael played Disney Infinity 1 for maybe 8 hours.
And we're like, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
We don't have enough of the figures to do everything in the game yet, so fuck this.
The only reason we picked it up is because it was fucking Black Friday and Walmart had the starter kit on sale for like $15 or something.
Yeah, really cheap. So
I like how enthusiastic that guy was trying to sell bitches.
Oh yeah, right. That was hilarious.
Oh, right.
We had expressed interest in it beforehand. We tried it. We were fair about it. We gave the game a fair shot. It wasn't for us.
Yeah. We gave it a fair shot. That's enough. So more Star Wars stuff after that. They had a longer, different segment from Star Wars Battlefront on their stage where they showed, which I totally fucking missed the boat on that one.
We're all having eye-gasm.
I'm just sitting there looking, ooh, shoot the stormtroopers with the lasers. And then Adam brings up the salient point that, oh, by the way, this is the thing that's bridging the gap in the movies. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't even notice.
I cannot confirm that 100%. It just seems too...
That's what it looked like to me now that I think back on it. I'll go ahead and give you that one, man.
A lot of people were talking about how, the Force Awakens trailer came back out a fucking couple months ago. I remember when that trailer came out in March. The movie trailer.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
For the new Star Wars movie. It opened on the scene of I can't remember what the fucking ship's called now.
Star Destroyers.
The Star Destroyers.
Yeah, the wrecked one.
It had one crash in the desert. Everybody saw a desert. Everybody just assumed that's desert. We only know the one thing, so it's gotta be Tatooine.
Looked like Tatooine, yeah.
Yeah, but arguably Battlefront's always used.
PS4, like, when they announced Battlefront, when they did the big announcement of Battlefront at the Star Wars thing, I want to say... Fuck, I don't know. Right now I don't remember when that was. They did the big Star Wars, press conference thing. They announced Battlefront. Everybody got super stoked on it. They did say in that interview that, some of the areas in Battlefront were going to be reminiscent of the movie. That was going to have characters and areas and stories.
It was going to be the first look at stuff from The Force Awakens was going to come from Battlefront, the new Battlefront. Yeah.
So they showed
that's right.
map.
Yeah.
They showed like this big multiplayer battle that they had on another desert planet, and at the end of the big clip they showed at the end of the PS4 Sony version of Battlefront, whatever it's going to be. I don't know if it was exclusive. Probably not. I think they were just showing off Battlefront. Everybody's really excited about Battlefront.
Yeah, like I said, we were all having eyegasms watching this. Just.
But I mean, like the end of that little teaser, I guess, gameplay trailer, whatever you want to call it, had the Star Destroyer crashing into the desert.
We saw it crash. I saw it crash. I'm like, oh, cool, it's crashing.
So
that's it.
It
like,
very well
no other
could
connection.
be. That's either the conclusion of or the start of the Battle of Juka. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yucca. It's probably a Y sound.
So I mean, yeah, that was, I guess, that could have honestly been your first look. I don't honestly remember a lot about the trailer other than that. I just remember catching that at the end and being like, hey, I saw one of those crash in a TV trailer the other day.
All right, well, fair. I'll give it to you. That sounds like you've got strong reason to believe it is what it is.
So, like, I don't know. That might not just be for Battlefront. That could have been your first look at your new movie as well. Everybody wins.
But again, the oversaturated guy caught it.
That's fair.
There's a lot of Star Wars.
Damn. Damn. Yeah, but you're taking it all in, too.
You gotta know your enemy,
man. Know your enemy. I like that. Okay. So, moving on, they had some Square Enix guys come out, and they unveiled a new Hitman game. I guess this is a sequel or a reboot. I can't tell, because it's just called Hitman.
It took me a minute.
It took everybody a minute, I think. Like, what the fuck is this game?
Not Adam. And I saw the highballers on the table. I was like, hey, Hitman game. And Tony was like, nah.
I saw IO Interactive, and I was like, why do I know that name?
Yeah, I know, right?
I looked over, and I was like, I know that name. And then I go back, and he's like, he sees the gun, and Hitman. No, I thought that was someone else. Like, I'm using, like, developer logic. Like, no, I thought it was
Nope, I saw the guns on the table. I was like, I know what that is. All right, cool, let's do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nothing really more to say about that outside of it was just a CG trailer. They're making a new Hitman game. I'm pretty excited.
His toque looks cool.
You know what? I have strict rules about getting excited over CG trailers, but I'm always excited over a Hitman game. Because those games have, even the bad ones, have always allowed you to do some pretty zany shit to kill your target.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. Yeah. Like, walk into a party, I'm just going to put this poison in the punch bowl and casually stroll out. Didn't even need to draw a gun. That's cool. Things like that are cool.
Or when you're like me, you inadvertently have to garrote like every security guard who comes down there while you're changing. Shit. Another one. Like, I got like bodies just piling up, and I haven't even started the mission.
As long as they bring the chicken soup back. If they bring the chicken soup back, we're good to go.
Yeah, so yeah, just how weird. I said Square Enix guys come out to talk about Hitman. That's fucking crazy. That's the world we live in now.
I know. I got a little bit stoked on something else for a second.
So yeah, following that up, they talked about the Final Fantasy coming to PS4 with World of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Funko Pop.
Whatever that was, I don't know. People,
it looks adorable.
It damn sure does.
I didn't actually pay that much attention to it. It was like one of the.
I don't know. I don't know what that game is. They had more of it at their own personal conference the next day, but I totally tuned out.
I felt the need to
in between this segment and the next one. I will research that.
Yeah. Okay. So that one they showed that little cutesy Final Fantasy mashup chibi Funko Pop adventure. Whatever.
How many more actually?
My Little Final Fantasy.
Yeah, what in the hell is this?
Doesn't matter, dude. That game would not exist if they did not need to fucking throw somebody off their trail. Because next you get to watch a grown man cry in a theater.
Yeah. So after the groans and just screams of hatred came at that game, the theater was silent, and then everyone was boo World of Final Fantasy.
There was not boos, it was just...
There were fucking boos.
No, you heard boos?
I heard your loud fart noise.
And I remember explicitly giving a certain digit on my hand to the screen at the time.
You really bonded with
after he popped his collar.
Yeah, but then they followed that up with. So yeah, they're remaking Final Fantasy VII. You guys,
let's let Adam reenact what he did.
Oh, there was no reenacting. Like I shed tears.
I high-fived a stranger 3 seats down. Final Fantasy VII is being remade. It is happening.
We're going to stop. We're going to clarify. We all would have been happy with an HD remaster. That's all we wanted.
We are getting that.
No, we're going to get full remake.
No, there already is the HD remaster coming.
There's a computer port.
But that was a remaster.
That's dumb.
It's going to be in HD.
Like, honestly, are they planning on selling that fucking game now?
Yeah, it's still coming.
I'm about on my phone, probably.
Yeah, right.
I will say that I was really impressed at the noise that was coming out of my mouth because I was so happy because I don't normally make vocal noises like that.
Your voice doesn't carry, and I heard your screams.
Yeah, exactly. I was so happy.
I climbed in Tony's lap. I didn't even get to. I couldn't even
be excited. Because I was wrestling this fucking barrel.
I just, that's just the thing. Like, this is, one of the biggest bombshells that they've dropped. And there's really not too much to say about it other than, holy fuck, it's finally happening,
Yeah.
Wow, I'm actually surprised. I thought we were going to spend a lot longer talking about that. But
no, that pretty much sums it up.
What are you going to say?
That pretty much does sum it up. It pretty much does sum it up. And so...
Well, what about, what they could possibly change with this version?
Well, see, I think that we can devote a whole podcast to.
Yeah, right now that's
really
just up in the air speculation. That is like the blindest of speculation.
I'm actually going to start replaying Final Fantasy VII tonight just for that reason.
Man, be careful because it might have that Assassin's Creed effect on you now.
Oh, no, it will not.
Right.
Well, this is shitty. Fuck this new one. Never mind. Because I can tell you from recent first-hand experience, 7 has not aged that well.
You know what? It's not even my favorite one.
No, mine neither. But damn it.
Let's make sure
at a point
knows.
In time, it was my favorite one, though.
Fine, but it's not mine.
I think that's how everybody's list is fucking shaping up. Like, I keep hearing that a lot, not just within, Toasty Robot, but with, like, everybody. Oh, it's not my favorite 9 or 10 or... It generally stays right in that little window.
But, I mean, for a lot of people, it is their favorite. Like, totally.
Yeah. But they're all like, but I'm still excited.
Oh, yeah. Because while it might not currently be their favorite, you can pretty much bank that at some point, like I said, it was everybody's favorite,
Like, what kind of narcissistic, god complex piece of shit do you have to be to deny Final Fantasy VII its legacy?
Nobody is, but that's what I'm getting at.
Totally agree.
I love that whole, like, the entire statement has been built of, it's not my favorite.
No.
This one is, insert random number,
Mm-hmm.
but 7?
Yeah.
Let's play it! That's the general consensus.
Yeah. Even, like watching, like, just, like, E3 reactions from, like, other outlets and people who have been very vocal about them, Final Fantasy VII, whatever, like, fuck that game. Even people who were against it, I've seen, have gone, like, oh, wow, like... More so just at the announcement that it's actually happening, and I kind of feel like they're just happy for everybody else in a way.
Now we're gonna let's be fair. We're gonna see where the culture shock is at in 4 to 8 years when it comes out.
Yeah, true. Yes, because that game is a hot fucking minute away.
But something I've been wanting to say since the conference. This is the guy who hates teasers of teasers of teasers, and come on, that was like the most like.
Okay. But again, what kind of piece of shit, just negative, cynical asshole would you be to deny Final Fantasy its legacy?
I don't know, dude. You're pretty cynical, man.
That's good.
I won't do it. I will not.
That's good.
I will not even.
Just the announcement that it's coming is enough.
It was like
they could have not had a trailer and a guy say out there like, "Yeah, we're making it now. It's happening."
That would have been more than enough.
It would have been just as impactful.
I think that was the first time we could all like successfully breathe joy.
Yeah.
I mean,
because we've heard this rumor for minutes.
Dude, every year there's any kind of event where games are getting announced, be like, oh, this is the one they're gonna announce Final Fantasy VII remake, and then there's been so many that like even Square Enix themselves several times have said that is not financially viable. Don't expect it. We're not gonna say no, but we're kind of saying yeah, probably not. I wonder. I just want. I'm real curious as to why is now the time. honestly, I think it's because if you wait any longer, you kind of start to lose that audience who originally fell in love with Final Fantasy VII to begin with.
You know, I was surprised to hear that there's so many positive responses. There's so much like finallys coming from the crowd for The Last Guardian. I thought I was like one of the few that was still holding on to that, but I hold on to the Impossible.
Well, see, that's just anyway. You.
So Final Fantasy VII, maybe that's maybe that's what they were trying to do. Was they were like, holy shit, we could lose interest in this.
Yeah.
So let's
see. You were holding on to The Last Guardian just as a video game player. We were in a room of people who were holding on to The Last Guardian as PlayStation fans. That's been, one of our white whales forever.
Yeah.
We got them all.
Yeah, so...
We haven't even touched on number 3
yeah,
yet,
so Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming. We'll see it in 10 years. Just the fact that they acknowledge that they're making it, that's enough to... At least that'll shut everybody up for a while.
Just
yeah.
Funny joke on that though is that they did say when they were talking about it. I know we're not talking about the Square Enix one right now, but when they did talk about it a little more.